Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I call Melissa Lee.
It is a pleasure to rise to speak on the second reading of the Social Security Benefit Categories and Work Focus Amendment Bill, sir. And before I make my contribution, I'd like to respond to a couple of points that other speakers have actually made. I guess first to start, Ms. Toure talked about how infuriated she was and how she felt that this government was actually heartless. I'd like to respond by saying that I am infuriated by her comments because it is incredible in how opposition make out as if this government and this national party do not care about beneficiaries. That is absolutely not true. We believe that most people don't want to be on benefit, but they have to under certain circumstances when they fall into difficult times, whether it is actually a marriage breakup, whether they get ill, or there are many circumstances where people have to rely on state help. And as Jacinda Ardern mentioned earlier, that Labour was, in fact, the architect of social welfare, well, let me say, we support that. People on benefit who are in difficult circumstances. But let me quote you a quotation from the Dominion Post last year, actually, which said, "The pioneers of the welfare state would never have envisaged the benefit system New Zealand has today." And I quote, "They would have been appalled by the thought of thousands of perfectly healthy adults spending more than a decade on the dole and thousands more 16 and 17-year-olds being paid to sit around and do nothing, sir." Sir, welfare dependency is what we're trying to prevent. Mr. Phil Twyford sort of said the whole idea behind this bill is wrong. What is wrong with backing people? What is wrong with telling people that they are better than being dependent on the welfare? Sir, this bill forms part of a package of reforms being introduced over 2 years that will basically shift the focus of the benefit system towards encouraging and supporting beneficiaries to move into paid work. National actually campaigned on this, on the reforming welfare, by taking an investment approach that will make sure that we have an enduring welfare system which supports Kiwis who fall on difficult times. And that's what welfare was designed to do, to help people when they are caught in a jam. It's not about lifestyle choice, and we never said that people who are on welfare are choosing to become, on welfare on a lifestyle. There are some, not all, majority don't. But having said that, government's reforms have at the core a belief that most people can and want to work, and that most people do not choose to be on a benefit as a lifestyle choice, sir. But this government spends $8 billion a year on welfare, and that's for 330,000 working age people. That's about 12 to 13% of working age population who receive the benefit. And there are 220,000 children who live in benefit-dependent homes. Evidence show that children are better off when parents are working, not when parents are on welfare. Sir, I like to thank the Minister who has put in a lot of work, and I see her passion when she talks about welfare reform. This is the biggest amount of work that any government has done, and no matter what the opposition say, and they can criticize the Minister and this government all they want, but let me say this, under the 9 years that Labour was in government, what did Labour, the architects of social services, architects of state help, do for the people who are on welfare? They did nothing. Sir, this is a great bill. I commend it.
Call Esanati Loloi Taylor.
Mr. Speaker, we should measure welfare's success by how many people who leave welfare